Well, the freedom is at stake. Get Out the Vote Bus Tour is traveling to historically black colleges and universities across the country to engage young voters. The bus stopped at Fort Valley State University today to give students rides to the polls. 41 NBC's Taylor Gilchrist was there.
The Freedom is at Stake Get Out the Vote Bus Tour is working to ensure that transportation is not an obstacle in seeing high youth turnout in this year's election.
We have a bunch of first-time voters we're taking, and first-time voters that actually vote, because a lot of times we register people and then don't go back to them, but we're coming back to these young people and getting them to the polls.
Andrea Pringle is the executive director and founder of Registration Nation, an organization dedicated to registering new voters and building civic dialogue among young people and people of color. Pringle says it only takes once for young voters to participate in the democratic process to see the importance and feel that their impact has been made.
Once they do it, they become lifetime participants in their civic responsibility and in being heard. They do understand that their vote is their voice, and their voice is critical.
Members of student organizations here at Fort Valley State say they've been not only working to get more of their peers registered to vote, but to change their registration addresses as well. They say this will make the voting process much more convenient.
Where they live, they should vote, and when we're here on campus, we impact not just the campus, but the Fort Valley community. We call ourselves a communiversity.
Gordon Smith is the public relations officer for the Political Science Student Association at Fort Valley State. Smith says students changing their registration addresses to their campus residencies eliminates the logistical roadblocks that first-year students in particular often face. Long before the bus stopped by to help students get to the polls, Smith and other members of PSSA were hard at work registering as many first-time voters on campus as they could.
On campus, we opted in and had over 700 students register to vote, so we're seeing the increase.
Smith says it can be challenging to convince other young people that their vote will matter, but he's confident that the Registration Foundation, working alongside student groups like PSSA, has already made a huge difference in this election cycle.
We're seeing the increase in seeing the students, don't even call them students, the citizens now are seeing the importance of voting and making their voice heard and their impact from their vote.
In Fort Valley, Taylor Gilchrist, 41 NBC News.
That tour will continue through Georgia this weekend with stops at HBCUs in Atlanta and Savannah. Early voting continues through November 1st, and Election Day is November 5th.